Hello.
Hello. Good morning. I'm very happy to be in front of you today, honored and excited to show you the developments that we do this year. Personally, I am living amazing times with so many technologies available to us, so we can solve better the problems and the challenges and the dreams that we have. And from my opinion, the need is the same. Just right now we have new tools to address them. And we all enjoyed the launch of ChatGPT. We chat with it, we use it in our work. It's amazing technology. We've been using DRUID already for 6 years, automating tasks in our enterprise. We are using digital technologies. And right now, all these innovations are available to us in our daily work. And this is what we did from the beginning of DRUID. We connect the people with the existing technologies. We have our customers, our partners, our suppliers engaging with our business in their preferred channel. They call our business, they chat with our business. We have our existing applications, we have our existing investment, data, processes, business applications. So these are in there, are working very well. But now we have new technologies available to us, and how we can use that new technologies together to solve our needs. We see the DRUID conversational robots right now becoming the front end to all digital operations in the organization. Any persona in the business engage with a DRUID robot and consumes in the DRUID robot all these technologies. And the DRUID robots are taking care of all the enterprise regulations. DRUID robots provide security on top of generative AI, provides integration with backend systems, provide audit and traceability of all the conversations. And we see in practice that as a result, for example, with generative AI, at the beginning, that technology was available just to technical people to experiment and put them in their code. But right now, if you put a DRUID robot in front of any employee, even the people in human resources, the agent in the contact center, relationship managers, people in procurement, are discussing with a DRUID bot, and behind the scenes, DRUID incorporates all these technologies in the secured way. So this is an amazing value that DRUID adds. And it's not replacing any of the existing systems. It's just making them more used and automatically upgraded with the technologies at the momentum. I split the content in 2 parts. Right now I will show you, Elena will do demonstrations on what we developed this year, and you will see end-to-end business applications incorporating new technologies available. And in the second part, I will show you what is coming, and actually things that are already in development, and I will reveal to you some new business applications that will be available, some of them even with the release in November, others in December and beginning next year. So I selected from all the developments that we did this year, the things that we consider and we see most appreciated and valuable. First, you have in DRUID complete knowledge-based functionality. Now you can connect a DRUID bot to any data source in the organization. You can connect to documents, you can connect to websites, you can connect to business applications, and the Druid is automatically building his knowledge, and it's able to respond. You will see with the Megabot concept, you can have multiple such knowledge bases with different focus, but still the users will just discuss with one single Druid bot. We are integrating generative AI in the DRUID bot, and actually we are empowering the usage of generative AI in the enterprise in the secured way. So you will see generative AI right now, it's part in many use cases and conversations, and actually is transforming the user experience. And at result, DRUID robots right now, conversational robots, can deliver end-to-end business applications. You can build an entire customer relationship management with DRUID technology. You can have your contact center and shared service practice supported by an end-to-end solution with DRUID technology. You can have your marketing department broadcasting messages with DRUID technology. And with that, Elena, give us the demo with an end-to-end solution.
Thank you. So today I'm going to showcase you some of our standard solutions that we're having in the financial services area. This is part of our current implementations that we're having right now and also ongoing projects, not only in Europe but also in US. Everything that you're going to see is a demo scenario. It can be personalized when we're talking about going into production with one of our virtual assistants. And it contains exactly the use cases that Dan mentioned in regards with the knowledge-based integration, crawling data sources, either if you're talking about a simple website or some simple PDF files and so on. Nowadays, I have Victor, if you can see it on the screen. And Victor is our virtual assistant embedded in the website. It can also be embedded in the mobile application, for example, to be in a single sign-on authentication with portals from the financial services area. As I see and as I'm going through the website, I can see as various websites exist, I have different content available. Nowadays, we have the possibility to actually embed in one virtual assistant all these contents that are available either on a website or in a simple PDF file and so on, and embed those inside the DRUID. I embedded, for example, all the website, I crawled it, and right now I have some information available from the website inside my conversation with the virtual assistant. As I open the conversation with the virtual assistant, I can see that I have this sort of guided menu, which is actually the one that is helping me and saying to each one of the final users, okay, these are the self-service operations that you can actually do when having a conversation with the virtual assistant, but the virtual assistant is not entitled only to answer to these ones. So it's also available and he knows to answer to many more questions. For example, if I want to say, okay, is there a monthly cost to pay if I want to have my mobile online banking application to install it? I just ask the question, the virtual assistant will take a look at all the knowledge base available, and it will give me the response via the generative AI. For my particular use cases, I'm using the Azure OpenAI version, which is the one secured, but as was previously mentioned, we can have as well a deployed full on-premises for DRUID large language model in order to be used and fine-tuned further on. As I'm opening the conversation and receiving the response from the virtual assistant, I can see also that I always, besides the response, I have the redirection through where actually this information had its initial source. As I open in the information, I can see that I'm directly redirected to the conversation or to the page where actually this conversation is, this information is available. If I want to continue further the conversation, I can say, okay, if I scheduled a payment and I don't have enough funds, what will happen? As you're seeing right now, I'm running the conversation in an authenticated manner as the virtual assistant is talking with Judy Doe, but as well, this kind of information and answers can also be provided when talking with a simple visitor. So the DRUID virtual assistant, moreover, not only in the financial services area, if we're talking about healthcare, retail, human resources, use cases, is actually taking care of all the roles responsible inside the company and is providing a virtual assistant to each one of those. So you don't have to have multiple virtual assistants deployed either for an employee or either for someone from the supply chain or the procurement side. Right now, it already gave me the answer regarding if I have a scheduled payment, what will happen if my funds are not available. Right now, I have the possibility as well to redirect the conversation to a human agent. This is something that we sustain by default in the DRUID platform, and I'm going to switch the role from being just a simple client, asking some different questions and talking with the virtual assistant, and redirecting the conversation to a human agent in the customer support team that has his own virtual assistant. And he's able actually to trigger some of the processes that he's having right there in order to complete his activities faster. I can say, okay, I need to open a new savings account, and I want to talk with a human agent. Right now, everything is via conversation. I'm going to be redirected to the human operator. Right now, I am actually logged in my agent, on the agent side. DRUID Virtual Assistants for the agents and for the customer support team can be embedded in the applications that are already used as telephony systems and so on. And also for the chatting, this is available via the DRUID platform. I see that I have a waiting client in the queue, and I'm connecting with this waiting client, which is Judy Doe from the other side. As I'm opening the conversation with the client, I can see, okay, that I have available all the conversation history, so everything in regards to the conversation and what happened on the self-service activity side for the client is also available for the agent, and moreover, everything is recorded in the dashboard and the analytics side that DRUID is offering via the platform and via the engagement that we're having in place right there. As I'm opening the conversation with the virtual assistant, I can see that already the virtual assistant itself prepared for me as the customer support agent all the information regards with Judy Doe. I can see her account profile. I can see her account number. So I can bring actually in this page all the information available within multiple data sources and multiple applications, because via the native integration that we're having and the native connectivities that we can have between various applications, we can expose all the data in one place. So you don't have to go and crawl different information. Moreover, I can see in place everything in regards with her cards that are opened inside the bank, her financial products, and so on. As well as you're seeing here, I have access, as I told you, to some other features in regards with the knowledge base. So I can embed information for client, and I can embed information from different data sources and business knowledge inside the conversation with the virtual assistant. And this client was interested about having some information and knowing exactly which are the steps or the procedures in order to open a new savings account. And let's say that I am a new customer support agent. I don't know exactly where to find that information. So I just need to ask my virtual assistant that is going to do the job in the back for me and get all the data and responses in one place. I can ask him, what are the procedures in order to open a new savings account? Right now, it will get the information available and it will search for the specific information, and I will retrieve back the response. As well as the same pattern applies, I have the same redirect information to the information and to the article that is providing that specific information. Right now, I'm having an extra validation as the customer support agent is also validating the information that the virtual assistant actually exposed, and I can send it directly to the client inside the conversation in order to have it just in one place. As we're seeing here, we took the information from the visitor and from the client side, and then we redirected via the same virtual assistant all the conversation, and we performed this self-service information and activities with the conversation for the customer support agent. Right now, I will disconnect the conversation given the fact that I provided all the information for my virtual assistant.
Elena, I want to point something.
Yeah.
Because we see new technologies available and at work right now. If we look back on the conversation with the customer, that information that was delivered by DRUID bot was actually present in the website. But now our visitors in the website doesn't need to click around to discover the information. With DRUID knowledge base, you just point to the website and the entire content is loaded in the knowledge base. So the DRUID robot is like a concierge on the website. We see in the statistics that the visitors doesn't need to leave the first page, the home page, to discover any information from inside. Also the result, it's increasing conversion rate from the website. You saw when I clicked the link, I was moved to the page, the respective page, but in that next page, the robot was also there and asked me, now I can assist you further. So the robot is like a very skilled salesperson, is giving me right information, but then is pushing me to progress further in the process. Right now on the agent was another knowledge base available, but this time secured just for the contact center agent. And in front of all these users is the Megabot, loaded with different content. And the robot has the knowledge to discuss with each individual according with his role, hiding information or tailor-making information appropriate for that person.
And given the fact that you're talking about roles, right now I was a customer support agent and I want to be, let's say, a relationship manager. I will switch the role. That is staying and talking in a branch with one of the clients in front of him. And he has some questions in regards, okay, give me account information about Judy Doe. Right now, the virtual assistant went into the various systems, prepared the content available for me that was already designed in the DRUID platform, and gave me all the information in regards with the account profile that I'm looking on. Also, I can go even further and perform something like, okay, but she's interested in actually changing the contract. I can say, okay, I need to change the contract for Judy Doe. I'll help you with a new contract change for your customer. Right now, for this particular scenario, I'm having an attended virtual assistant, a UiPath integration in my case, that is actually performing something, a contract change in the various systems available. So we have the possibility, besides integrating with multiple applications in the same time, to trigger RPA processes in order to solve faster the processes. Do you want to add something?
Yeah, I like the visuals on the customer profile. If you scroll up a little, I saw some colors.
Yes, yes.
Behind the customer profile right now, we added generative AI models that are able to look on the customer profile and discover insights. And based with these prompts, I don't need to implement complex business logic, decisions trees. I'm just asking the model to identify and show me the insights. And as a result, DRUID creates these visuals to point me in the areas where I need to intervene. And I think you can also have an open conversation around this data to discover even more. And this is generative AI in connectivity with enterprise data. DRUID is taking the snapshot of the data and prepares the prompt, keeping him from hallucinating. So although I'm using a large language model, I don't need to push my entire data into a big model just to answer. DRUID is doing that part in the middle.
Right now, let's say that I finished all my information and all my conversation in regards with the virtual assistant for the relationship manager, client, and so on. And I will switch to my employees' activities in my Teams application, where I see everyone. And here I have a Megabot embedded that it's already available and already has in place processes in regards with IT help desk, let's say. I can reset my password if one of my accounts is blocked when talking with the virtual assistant from my Teams application. I can ask for PTO balance. I can say, okay, how many days do I have left off, and so on. But for example, right now, I'm new, as I told you, in the company, and I don't know how to work with SAP or some other applications that are used inside. And I want to see, okay, how can I create a report layout in SAP? Right now, in the DRUID platform, as I told you, this is part of the Megabot solution that we're having in place. So this is the place where actually my Megabot was actually configured. I have it available in the Megabot space, but I can see that I have another virtual assistant that is taking care of the IT help desk operation, HR compensation and benefits, a sales, and the SAP integration. As I go further in my conversation with the virtual assistant, I can see that it all crawled the information available within the other functional bots, and I receive all the information that I need in order to create a report layout in SAP. So for the new employees, and not only embedding all this content inside DRUID, it will help each one of those to actually find the information suitable for their needs. Actually, we're doing one of the analyses, and we're saying if, for example, you're going to have a virtual assistant that is going to automate around 2 minutes from what the customer support agent is taking care when talking with one of the clients, you can save up to 30% in terms of just automating those kind of conversations that can be either authentication, unblocking a card, increase the card limit, and so on. So I guess this is it from my side.
Okay. This technology is available today.
Yeah.
What we saw here are examples extracted from actual projects. And you saw how a DRUID conversational robot can deliver an end-to-end solution. So it's not just a part that it's handling a conversation here and there. We started the journey with a potential customer on the website. DRUID responded with the knowledge learned from the website, decisions trees, then transferred to the agent, supporting the agent with automations and integrations, and at the end, you can go up to sign the contract and disburse the money. And behind the scenes, you didn't notice, are a lot of technologies putting together in a right way. We have integrations, we have robot process automation, we have generative AI, handling secure and without hallucinations in the DRUID platform. Now look what it's possible even further. And if I can have the slides back to me. So we continue to invest, obviously, and we are working on 3 tracks. We will continue to invest even more in the knowledge base. We see tremendous adoption of this technology, so we continue to add in there. Generative AI remains in focus. And I'm announcing today, with the release in October, we have the large language models available in the DRUID platform. We are taking open source model, it's Llama 2, and right now we're hosting 3 versions of that models, specialized on different use cases, and you can consume large language model with your current deployments. This is super important. We all remember in our projects the data security and checking and all the validations. With the availability of large language models inside the DRUID platform, everything that was already validated applies. So if you want to start using large language model with DRUID technology, you don't need to do another security check. This new technology is available in DRUID on the same data flows. So this is super handy. But you have the freedom, the peace of mind to choose. For a particular task, you can choose DRUID large language model. For another, you can choose OpenAI. For another, you can choose from Google. Or I see many developments and specialized large models coming. So you have the option to choose. And with that, you can create conversational business applications. And I want to show you now a few examples of that. The first example is the reporting companion. We all have databases with data, we have reports on top. Now, when you connect DRUID with such data sources, you can have a conversational experience to surface this data. So let me show you. Okay. So now I have my DRUID robot connected to the sales reporting database, and I will ask him a few questions. Hey, how many orders we had this year?
We had 11,761 orders this year.
And how many orders this year versus last year? Give me the value and percentage.
I don't find this information.
What is the biggest territory in sales?
The Southwest Territory has the biggest sales with a total of $27.15 million.
And for Australia, how much was the sales value?
The sales value for Australia was $11.8 million.
So now, with the new technology, natural language to database query, we are able to surface the existing databases. And I will show you how this is possible. I have here a configuration, a conversation flow in the DRUID platform dedicated to the sales reporting. And you notice how many few nodes. I have, I don't know, 5 or 6 nodes that are able to handle unlimited conversation paths. And if I look inside such a node, I see the added value provided by DRUID in orchestrating multiple technologies in the right order. So I see in here, I have a GPT prompt that is transforming natural language into a database query. Then I have low-code capabilities in the DRUID platform to implement additional business logic. So for example, checking for security. What if a user is saying, drop all the data that you have? This is, from language perspective, it's okay, but from security perspective, it's not okay. So with low-code capability, we complement the large language model. Then I am using the integration services. So I'm actually running the query in my SQL database, in my Oracle database. Then I get the result and prepare a second prompt. And this is the power of low code in the DRUID platform. Look, with just one single line of code, I am transforming the data context received from my business database inside the large language model prompt. So again, I don't need to push all my data in a model. I deliver the right data for this moment in the context. And then I execute another prompt and transform the data into a response. And for traceability and governance, I am saving this in the log. So if you receive questions, why that answer was provided 3 days ago, you have the full traceability in the DRUID platform. So you can see what was asked, what was the database query, what was the delivered answer. So you can control all this data flow. Now I will give you another demo. I am in a retail business right now, and I enable the DRUID Virtual Assistant as a concierge for product recommendation. Of course, I have a large store with many items, and I want to have an open conversation connected with that data. I'm using large language model to have a natural conversation, but in the same time, the integration via DRUID with on-premise systems. So look. Hey, can you give me a product recommendation?
What sport are you interested in?
I like something for tennis.
I am checking that tennis is available in our catalog. 1 second, please. Tennis is available. Are you looking for footwear or jackets?
Footwear, please.
What is your gender?
Actually, do you have something for running?
I am checking that running is available in our catalog. 1 second, please. Running is not available. What sport are you interested in?
Okay, let's go with tennis.
Are you looking for footwear or jackets?
So we see what happens in here, and just to showcase what is happening behind the scenes, I included in the demo the details explanation. DRUID established a communication with a large language model. So the large language model tells DRUID what the conversation needs at the momentum. And whenever the large language model detects a product category, an article on or another entity, another record, it's asking DRUID to give the confirmation back. And then the DRUID, with integration services, connects to real-time data. So this combination of DRUID and large language model can deliver real-time information in the conversation. These are examples of applications where you can consume generative AI in the secured way. Another examples, you can have document review process. So for example, you just take a document like a supplier agreement like that. You receive it from a supplier, from your supplier, and you want to check if it's compliant with your internal regulations. It's sufficient to drop this document inside, share this document with a DRUID bot. DRUID bot automatically creates a record and evaluates the compliance. And will tell you immediately what chapters are compliant and what chapters are not compliant. And I see here I have 2 chapters not compliant. I click on one of them. I see the original content. I see the new content. The original content can come from a template in the organization. And then I see the existing content. And immediately, with large language model, DRUID bot is telling you what's the difference. It's in my favor, it's in supplier favor. I can also apply automations to change the content. So these are examples of end-to-end use cases that you can implement, and this is possible because you have in the DRUID platform all these technologies. Based on your feedback, we will add even more functionalities. Beginning next year, we will have visualizations for the knowledge bases. So I see right now DRUID projects with hundreds of thousands of articles in the knowledge base in different processes. It's difficult right now to understand if I have an overlap, if are contradictory information, but with this visualization, I can be in control. Second, and actually this is available today with the release last week, you can run knowledge base in an enhanced security connected with the content on your premise. You see, before with the previous version, you need to make this content available to the hybrid deployment to be crawled from the internet. Right now, you have a new DRUID service available. You install it on your servers, and that service is able to connect to internal data sources. So the content is not leaving your premise. Very secure. We are adding more data sources. First on the list is SharePoint library, SharePoint document libraries, and content websites. This will be available in December. Then, beginning next year, we will have the generic API data source. You can connect with that data source to any business application. So you can take tickets from Remedy, for example. And then we follow with Jira, Confluence, and later ServiceNow. It's very important, the added value of DRUID large language models. Again, these are part of the platform. You don't need to send any data in the cloud to be processed with large language model. Even if you prefer to use, for example, OpenAI in Azure, as I do, I can complement with a DRUID large language model for personal data identification. So from whatever user is saying, With a DRUID large language model, I identify and detect personal data, take it out from the prompt, and then send the prompt in the cloud. So like this, DRUID is the keeper of security. I hope I managed to share with you my excitement on these new technologies and new applications. 2 months ago, we released for Georgia Southern University an entire new communication campaign system with DRUID technology. All the students in there are receiving real-time announcements and notification via a DRUID bot on the SMS channel. This was a project that was created together with the customer, from scratch up to go live in 3 months. Traditionally, for such a system, you need to implement a complex marketing system, communication system, technology. The technology today allows you to do in a different way the applications that we know already, or to complement existing applications. So right now, you can apply this in accounts payable, in human resources, in IT help desk, service desk, in contact centers. Actually, there is no process or application where you cannot add a DRUID bot and transform the user experience. Thank you very much, and I would love to discuss further and share with you all these templates available in the library. Thank you very much.
Thank you.